Salam, Yahamakala, heard Allah you Akbar when I stepped out the car. Lyrical terrorist, my pen planted the bomb that blew off his head, arm, leg, arm. Supreme alphabet, take over the internet, protect your neck, slit a throat in the process. Butterfly knife gave butterfly effect. Pierce through the skin when the point connects. Samurai tactics, lyrical acrobatics, don't fuck with books. Never speaking pig Latin. My shit bang from here to Saturn. Green Lantern, charge up, bust your fucking atom. Now just lethal or always. Civilized and savage in darkness hallways. Ran up the staircase, devils came through the doorway. Lost Babylon in the alleyway. Out of his army jacket came a fifth for E and J. That's how live niggas started that day. Stolen cars with the toothbrush. Fiends hit the block for a dope rush. Watching out for 5 in the donut. Pulled his hand out, he chose the fattest one. Pulled his hand out, he chose the fattest one.
Yo. Music Talk Monday back in effect, yo. You know what I'm saying? We here, recording, doing what we do, making sure that you get the information that you need to have so you can have a successful career as an independent artist. You know what I'm saying? Man, I hope everybody had a good Easter Sunday, you know what I'm saying? A good holiday, chilling, relaxing with the fam. You know what I mean? Shout out to Taylor B. Last week was phenomenal dealing with those numbers. Astro numerology is what she deals with. Make sure y'all check her channel out. You know what I mean? Peace to Born Divine. He's on tour. He's doing this thing. We're going to get him on the show and everything like that or whatever. The perfect example of what an independent artist is and should be. You know what I mean? Shout out to Wu-Tang Management as well. Wu-Tang Radio. You know what I'm saying? Yo, BMG, what's good, my brothers? You know what I'm saying? Young Dame O, I see you. Holla at me, son. You know what I mean? Yo, I'm trying to tell y'all. Today, I just want to talk about common sense. Common sense. Because apparently, to some people out here, Jadakiss not real. That blew my mind. Jadakiss not real? How is Jadakiss not real? Like, I don't understand how Jadakiss not real. Me, myself, I don't really understand how Jadakiss not real. And what people were saying about Jadakiss is he went to private school and he comes from a loving home and he never been locked up. I'm going to let that breathe for a minute. He comes from a good home, went to private school, and never been locked up. So he can't be real. How can he not be real? How can he not be real? I don't understand. But we're going to get into it, though. You know what I'm saying? Man. Oh, yeah, y'all see what's up on the screen? That's the shit I be listening to. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you know where my loyalty lies at. Like I told y'all, underground all day. You don't hear about these guys as far as for like being all up in the news, shooting somebody and doing some dumb shit. Only thing you hear about is the elevation, the evolution. And then they in a whole different country and dealing with fashion and they have their own fashion going on. I mean, come on, man. Like, yeah, my bad. Like, share, subscribe on this channel as well. And y'all see at the bottom the Etsy.com shop, Villain Bag Life. Get your villain merch. You know what I'm saying? Do what you got to do. It's a lifestyle. Let them know what side you on. You know what I mean? Villain, tell the truth. You know what I'm saying? We make shit happen. We do the impossible. You know what I'm saying? We fight against the dumb shit. You know what I mean? Always going to be labeled the villain because you see shit different. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's a lifestyle. So I'm going to get into this video. Hold up. Let me see here. This is Doggy Diamond's channel, yo. Like, share, subscribe on the God channel. He has some information that is always mind blowing, and this is one of them.
This is more of like an editorial piece because I see this going throughout the cyberspace, the blogger sphere, the Instagrams, and of course this Facebook. And I saw this post. And I also seen a clip of it on the Joe Budden podcast with Jadakiss was his father. And his father revealed that he went to private school. So it's been a big debate. And one of the homies just left a comment on my channel that Jadakiss went to private school. So for some reason, it has people believing that Jadakiss is a fraud because he went to private school. And if you read this post, it says, this is by Audra Sledge. Shout out to you. Don't know you. And this Facebook is Beats, Rhymes, and Lounge. Oh, they got 472.5 members. Hey, I got to join that group right there. I got to join that group. But it says Jadakiss had access to a private school education, went to college, and was raised in a loving two-parent household, yet choose the path of a street drug-dealing rapper like a real black king. That's lethal right there. So y'all believe that he's not a street guy because he went to a private school? That's what y'all think? That's how y'all think that worked? Jadakiss is from New York City.
Hold up. Before I let him go in, you know what I'm saying? Man, like, this is ridiculous for real. This is the first time I ever heard some shit like this. I'm in Baltimore. I live in Baltimore. I'm from Baltimore. I went to Catholic school. My brother went to Catholic school. A lot of us went to private school. And we all did hood shit. So I'm just saying, like, I don't know what people trying to insinuate, but to me, the contradiction lies in, I'm just going to put it out there right now. The contradiction is this. The same people that's complaining about him or trying to take away his street credibility, which you can't do, but nonetheless, you want a good family for your children or your child. I would hope so. So why take that away from him? People go on their own type of journeys. It doesn't matter what type of family you come from. Sometimes you might have the jewels in order to like make money, you know what I mean? Like the tools and stuff like that or whatever to, you know, maneuver through whatever you doing. But at the same time, it's like you still have to choose your own path. And he chose this path. That doesn't mean, you know what I'm saying, his family didn't teach him correctly. It just means that Yo said, this is attractive to me. This is what I want to do. I'm doing it. And so shall it be done. I mean, shit. I mean, you can't take away from the God. There's no way you could take away from the God. And that's what I mean by this generation or certain people of this generation. The way that the mindset is trash. It's trash. It's a whole lot of people talking shit, and it's just trash. The internet is cool, but you know what I'm saying? It's like people just get on here and say things just to be saying shit. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like it starts a chain reaction of bullshit. So to say that this man isn't who he is, never been challenged. I mean, he had his share of beef against other artists, so forth and so on. But you never heard about him getting clowned or anything like that. No way, shape, form, or fashion. So you can't say that for a lot of these other guys out here. Like Jadakiss physically, I don't remember him really being tested like that. And I said really being tested like that. So, and then, you know, just look at who he's attached to. the locks. You feel me? So just those two alone, his two brethren, I mean, you would think they would be around somebody who was a square, so to speak. So I'm just saying, like, niggas be out here talking shit for no reason. This man came from something that most families don't have and should have. There's always what they say an exception to the rule. So you're looking at an exception to the rule. He's not an average person. Dang, boy, I swear. Probably the people that made the comments probably be watching academics and shit.
Preferably Yonkers. And although he went to a private school and had two parents in the home, what happens when you go outside? When you go outside, you still could make poor choices. You still could end up around the wrong people, the wrong crew, and make bad decisions. It doesn't matter what's going on in your house, it's what you do when you leave your house. And unfortunately, sometimes people choose to do dumb shit. Now, my best friend, who sadly was killed in 1993 at the age of 16, had two parents, went to private school, went to Catholic school, everything, but still chose to be outside with us. You know why? Because we were his childhood friends. We were the crew around the way. Having two parents in the home, going to private school, being privileged does not mean you will not turn out what your environment has you in.
Right.
Because although you can have a two-parent home, you still could live in the hood. So I don't see why the knock on Jadakiss is because he had parents, because he went to private school. That means they did their job. That means Jadakiss made poor choices. And that might not even be poor choices because I don't really know him to have a lengthy arrest record. It was just rap. Not saying he doesn't have no street political ties because I know for sure that he does. You know, we leave that where it's at. But how is it a knock on somebody for having two parents in a home? How is it a knock on somebody for going to private school? A lot of the dudes that I know that went to private school are sociopaths. Seriously. So you trying to tell me that these people who have committed atrocities all around the world didn't go to private school? I bet you if you look many of them up, they come from two parents' homes. They went to private school. They used to have granola bars in their house.
Hold on, wait a minute. I gotta go in on that real quick. The two-parent household, it's always good to have the universe in order. Sun, moon, and stars and all that supposed to be in the universe in their proper orbit. But you know, you have cases like the Menendez brothers. You feel me? And they were brothers that just flipped out because they felt some type of way. How many rich kids flip out from two-parent homes? Some parent homes or two-parent homes or whatever, whether they're in the hood or whether they're in a wealthy environment, children are going to be children, period. They're going to find a way to be rebellious. It's just something that children go through, especially in the teenage years. So when you look at the comment that was made, once again, what type of person are you? What's your background? Because to even say something like that is a mirror of you. It's a reflection of you. Like, really, like, you got a problem with somebody because they came from that. They can't be, you know, who they are currently. Grown as fuck, making money, doing the illest shit that you ever heard. And there's a problem, man. But y'all want Drake real though. So Jadakiss fake and Drake is real. I'm gonna say it again. So Jadakiss is fake and Drake is real. So Drake is realer than Jadakiss? Mm, mm. Wow.
All type house, all types of snacks, juice. Some of us grew up with no snacks in the crib. Whatever was in the crib was accounted for. Was no extra donuts, was nothing. If my grandmother bought 12 donuts, 12 donuts got 8.
Facts.
Jadakiss could have grew up in a crib where it was donuts, potato. Jadakiss probably grew up with a pantry. I never had no pantry. We had a refrigerator with a TV sitting on another TV, one TV for the sound, one TV for the picture. That's what I remember. But when you went outside, that's what mattered. So it's a time where the parents gave you home training. They gave you all the rules, all the guidance, all the things that you needed to succeed. And you chose to go outside and get mixed up with the wrong crowd. So you're trying to tell me them kids in Catholic school don't end up being bad kids? You trying to tell me we ain't going to talk about the priests? So I don't want to discredit him because he had his father, his mother, his father. That mean they did their job. He decided to go outside and be involved in it, but I don't know much about Yonkers. When I was growing up, only thing I knew about Yonkers is that it had a raceway, a park, and it was where the horse raced at. So growing up in Yonkers, places like that, it's like upstate New York. Growing up in places like that, that's not really known for too much, can be a very, very boring place. Even though they have all this extracurricular activity, some of the children are not privileged to have that activity. So what do young men do and young women do for extracurricular activity? They get in trouble. They get in trouble. It's just real. Like I said, I know friends, I have friends. I know their mother and their father. Their mother working woman, their father working woman, and their children are out of control. That has nothing to do with being at home. It's a choice that you make. But
I agree with Doggy Diamonds, fam. For real. It's a choice. A lot of the people that I grew up with, our area where we from, you had some households with two parents. You had some that didn't have two parents. A lot of our parents had good jobs. A lot of us was raised by grandparents that still had good jobs or however, whatever, and promoted going to college and all that shit. But yet and still, the corners was calling. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, seriously, like I don't know where the people that made these comments are from. You know what I mean? But like streets is real. Like people out there, you know what I'm saying? And you gotta go to school. You gotta go to school. Shit. Sometimes school is like prison for real. You might not even be thinking about selling drugs when you leave the house, but because you go to a certain school in a certain area or however, whatever, about time you hit 10th grade, shit, you like 2 8 balls in. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? Like it just be that simple. You know what I'm saying? You see how dudes are at the school. You see what they into. You see what they coming to school with. You see how they dress. You see the attention that they get in the shit. And next thing you know, shit, you want that same attention. So there's not a way where you can't find out how to get that attention. And because it's all around you, if that's what you want, then you're going to get what you ask for. It's just that simple. A lot of this shit go hand in hand. Streets, hip hop. Like I said, hip hop is street culture. But at the same time, it's different levels of hip hop. And once again, being real to yourself is being real with the people that hear you. So if you stick to who you are, you know what I mean? You don't have to go the drug route because hip hop ain't about or just about, you know what I'm saying, negative things in that area. You know what I'm saying? Like it's upliftment in hip hop as well. You know what I mean? So, and then on top of that, it all goes 360. It all goes full circle. You know what I'm saying? So hip hop is very well rounded, but individuals, and this is the other thing. I'm trying to let y'all know, just because you're black does not mean that you automatically tapped into hip hop. It doesn't have anything to do with that. On some real shit, like, just because you black doesn't mean that because you saw something that you can comment on it just simply because you're black. Like, it doesn't work like that. And it seems to me that because of people like DJ Academics, it's like you're opening up a doorway for people that are not really qualified to make comments. I mean, an opinion is opinion, but to boldly say things as if it's actually really true, that's a problem. You know what I mean? Like, that's a real big problem.
But you can't say, oh, you had two parents, so you couldn't have been this, or you not a street guy because this, that, and the third, because some people choose to be street people. Most of the people, like myself, some of my family members are intelligent as hell. As far as academia, as far as a book smart, but when it comes to being outside, was just involved with what was going on. Because remember, you had to get to the school. You had to come home from school. Who were your playmates? Who were your friends? But we acting like the kids in private school are just good kids. We acting like the kids that got two parents are just good kids. They don't get into.
Hold up, though. Wait a minute. You could have two dudes growing up in the same neighborhood, right? They always look out for each other. They could have been in the little league, and let's just say one of the two has a brother. His brother is in the street though, while he's in little league. But then he's starting to learn certain things from his brother. But the other dude, he don't have no brother. It's just him and the other cat who seems to be like brothers. So he might start learning. Like I said, one of the dudes might start learning from his brother illegal shit. He might come up a certain way underneath his brother dealing with illegal shit. Meanwhile, the other dude, the homie, the friend, the brother, right? He might get into some type of beef, and his homie, his brother, right? His friend got some rank in the street at this point because of his brother and handles the situation for him. He in turn might admire that shit and say, yo, I need some of that. I need that power. I need to share some of that energy. And that's just as simple as that. That's how shit happens. So once again, I don't understand how somebody makes a comment like that. You gotta really be an academics fan.
Nothing. And plus, Jadakiss, we don't know what he really did or didn't do at that time. We just knew that he took rapping as an art form and did an incredible job at it. Seriously. So I think that matters more than anything, that he took the rapping portion of it, the art form of it, and did an incredible job. So I ain't going to discredit Jadakiss because he had parents. Many of us envy that. I'm not going to discredit him and say he not this or that because he went to private school and all that. Shit, my childhood friend World went to private school. Look where World is at. World went to Queen of All Saints on Claremont and Lafayette. Look where he at. Look what he's charged with. So that don't mean nothing. But of course, that's what I think. That's my opinion. What do you think? Let me know below. Till next time, I'm out of here. Peace.
Yeah, I'm just saying, man. Y'all really have to understand how this shit works. And evidently, a lot of y'all don't know how this shit works. I just be bewildered by a lot of decisions that people make, you know what I'm saying, as far as for them having opinions on what's going on in this day and age in the culture. And people swear so much like, oh yeah, this person that person to the culture and all that crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, like, what are you actually really talking about? Like, who are you saying is official? Like, how we know you official? Like, who said you could say what you saying, actually? You know what I mean? Like, I don't really get it. Because in hip hop, you have to be official. You have to be, let's just say, I don't want to say ordained, but damn, it's almost like that. Like, you gotta have somebody that can actually really say like you creditable. For real. Like, you gotta have somebody say, oh, yo, he official. You know what I'm saying? With everything he talking about, he know what he talking about because this, that, and the third. Man, how many people actually really can say that? You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, yo, you know what I mean? I speak up for homie, you know what I'm saying? He's official. Like, how many people can say that? Not everybody. I'll tell you that much. Not everybody can say that. And that's a problem because you have a lot of fake people running around, and that type of system that was developed as far as for saying who's official and not official, non-official, not official, it helped weed out so we could keep the culture as pure as possible. Now, because of technology, a lot of y'all come in this shit with your half-witted opinions, you know what I'm saying, and thinking that you know how this shit run, and you don't know shit about nothing. And you listening to people that don't know shit about anything, and just because the person has money or has some type of fame doesn't mean that they know what the fuck they talking about. Let's be real. How many times have y'all been fooled online? How many times have y'all watched somebody and they said some shit and it's just like, yo, like, that wasn't true 6 months down the line? Because 6 months ago, this person was on, you know what I'm saying, a campaign. Now, at the 6th month, this person not official no more because through investigation, this person been found to be a fraud. So y'all take shit on face value. At the end of the day, you can't do that. You know what I mean? That's why we here. You know what I mean? Villains in the motherfucking building, yo. I'm getting ready to sign off and shit, you know what I'm saying? But I'm going to leave y'all with this, how I came in.
Slit a throat in the process, butterfly knife gave butterfly effect. Pierce through the skin when the point connects. Samurai tactics, lyrical acrobatics, no fuck with books. Never speaking pig Latin. My shit bang from here to satin. Green Lantern, charge us, bust your fucking atom. Knowledge is lethal always. Civilized and savage in darkness and hallways. Ran up the staircase, devils came through the doorway. Lost Babylon in the alleyway. Out of his army jacket came a fifth for E and J. That's how live niggas started that day. Yeah. Stolen cars with the toothbrush. Fiends hit the block for a dope rush. Watching out for 5 in the donut. Pulled his hand out, he chose the fattest one. Pulled his hand out, he chose the fattest one.